Suicide is a permanent solution to a temporary problem.
The Enlightened Show. Be inspired, be enlightened, motivated, and much more with your hosts.
Hi guys! Welcome back to the Enlightenment Show. Let me officially welcome you back. Yeah, I know you've been asking me, where have I been? Did I quit YouTube? Or what happened? What happened with my life? Yeah, all those questions. I want to tell you, I started YouTube during COVID time, and that time I had quitted my job. Not really quit, but I lost my job. That's why I decided, let me try to enlighten people concerning mental health issue. After COVID, not after really COVID, but after things went at least good, I was called back to go to work. I'm a student at Kenyatta University doing counseling psychology, so I couldn't multitask, working the same time YouTube, the same time studying. So that made me disappear all of a sudden. I decided, let me just put YouTube kidogo, like let me not really quit or not leaving it per se, but let me put a pause on it. Then I'll be coming back later once in a while. But you know, hospitality is not something to joke with. I used to go in shift. In the morning, I used to go for my morning classes or evening classes, then I go to work. By the end, at the end of the day, I felt I'm overwhelmed. Like I have to relax. Yeah, I know most of you have been asking me, how can I get job in hospitality and such things? But well, it's possible to get one. It is possible. Yeah. But on my current state, I quitted my work in hospitality industry because I have to concentrate on counseling psychology. And currently, I'm working at Mbagathi Hospital as an intern, as a psychologist. Yeah, I'm on my path. Yeah, and having worked there for now like a month and a half, I have some experience. And unlike my other videos, I used to talk out of theory, but now I'm talking out of experience. Like I've met people having mental health issue, and that has been pushing me like, go back to your people. 1,000 subscribers, 100 and something. It's a huge crowd to talk to about mental health issues. I'm here to communicate something concerning your life. I'm here to talk about these mental issues. I've been postponing all these times like to do a YouTube video, but it has reached a point like, no, I have to do it. My work is to talk to people. Like I sit like for an whole hour just to talk to someone about his or her issue. And why can I not spend like an hour, 2 or 15 minutes just to talk to you guys concerning these issues? I can talk to you who doesn't have this information. And guess what, guys? Today I'm here to talk about suicide. Yeah, it has been pushing me like, talk about this thing. Just tell these people what suicide is, and it's real and it has been happening. I've seen more than 5 clients who are 17 or let me say 18 and below years who have attempted or committed suicide, but it has failed. Yeah. And it hasn't been easy, and that's why I'm here to talk about suicide, suicidal ideation, suicidal thoughts. I'm here to talk about it. I want to start by saying suicide is a permanent solution to a temporary problem. This problem that made you to commit this suicide, it's something that you can work on. It's something that you can talk about. It's something that you can be helped. It is not an issue that is going to live with you like the all of your life. It's something that we can talk about and work on it. And let's go straight to the causes of suicide. But before I go to what causes people to commit suicide, let me say the importance of this topic is to make you understand what's the real meaning of suicide. It's not just suicide. There is suicide ideation, suicide contemplation, and suicide plan. Somebody who is suicidal, they normally have suicide ideation. And what do I mean by suicide ideation? These are suicidal thoughts, like you feeling like, wow, I want to die. I want to just vanish. And that's the idea of committing suicide. Then suicide contemplation, this is about when you now planning or having having this idea for a very long time, a period of time, and you're like, this is now part of you. You're really planning it because you've been thinking about it over and over. It's kinda, okay, it's this way. Each and every day when you wake up, you're thinking of committing suicide. So you're just contemplating about it. Suicide plan, now this is when you've now planned about it. It's like when you're planning to do something, how do you plan it? Some people plan to kill themselves through drinking a poison. So I had a client who drank jik. Another person drank these drugs. What can I say? Dawa ya kupulizia ng'ombe. I don't know its real name. You know, and people plan to hang themselves. Another person was planning to die by drowning in the river. Another person by being hit by a car. You know, that's when now you're planning each and every step, each and every move. You have to do it. And you know, somebody who is planning to carry on suicide is a person who is trying to do this without any other person knowing. So it's a secret. He won't come and tell you like, I want to die and I'm going to do this now and then. No, they will just tell you as a by the way, jokingly, but the plan is real. This is something that they're working on. It's like a project to them. Yeah, and let's go straight to what are the causes of suicide. So some of the causes of suicide are, one is like mental health. If somebody has a mental health issue, they are more likely to commit suicide. For example, someone who is having depression, major depression, they are more likely to commit suicide. Somebody who is suffering from schizophrenia, that's a mental health. Bipolar, another mental health is psychosis. They are more likely to commit suicide because this person is not in a sober position to think in an upright manner. You understand? Another thing is traumatic event. Somebody who has just experienced traumatizing event, they're more likely to give up. And you know, somebody who is planning suicide, this is not somebody who has hope in life. They are thinking negatively concerning life. They feel like they want to end their life so that this problem can be solved. If they're not there, there's nothing is going to make them feel painful. An example of a traumatizing event is like if somebody has been raped, if somebody has been sexually harassed, that's okay, rape, or childhood abuse, or physical abuse, emotional abuse. Because of late, I've been having young ladies who feel like, for example, this client was feeling pressured with their academics. Like, the parents used to pressure them to perform well. So she felt like, oh my God, let me just commit suicide. Another person came with an issue, like the parents are too much hard on her. So she felt like, let me just commit suicide. This is when you lose meaning in life. That's when you think, wow, the best thing to do is to commit suicide. Another thing is chronic illness. For instance, today you are healthy and tomorrow you get an example of a chronic illness is like HIV. So when you test positive, you feel like, wow, my life has ended, let me just die. Or something like diabetes, hypertension. There are many chronic illness. And let me say something concerning chronic illness. Most of these chronic illness come out of our lifestyle. What do I mean by lifestyle? This is how we deal with our life day to day. What are some of the behaviors that we carry on daily? An example of unhealthy behavior. There are two kinds of behavior, healthy behavior and unhealthy behavior. Let me go straight to something like HIV AIDS. And you know how HIV AIDS can be contracted. This is through unprotected sex. And how most people, they will do sex without condom. You see, you'll get HIV. Let's look at diabetes. Diabetes is when you take a lot of unhealthy food. For example, a lot of sugar, a lot of salt, you end up in diabetes. And you can see these are things that you do daily that can cause us to have chronic illness. Another thing, what can make you be suicidal is when you're experiencing loss. This is when you are undergoing loss and grief. What do I mean by loss? I know most of you know loss, like it's when somebody dies or you lose an important person. But also loss is when you've lost your job, you are going through heartbreak or breakup with your girlfriend, through divorce. So in that position, when you're feeling that you've lost something that was meaningful to you, you end up like dying, thinking, like planning to die, you understand, you don't end up dying. You tend to think like, well, this life has no meaning, let me just die because I'm undergoing loss and grief. And that's why when loss and grief is not well managed, or you won't come out of it in a very healthy manner, you'll end up depressed. And when you become depressed, what happens? You get negative thoughts, and those are suicidal ideation or suicidal thoughts that you have to end your life so that this problem can be solved. But as I said before, suicide is a permanent solution to a temporary problem. Another thing is substance abuse impulsivity. Yeah. So concerning substance abuse, why have I mentioned substance abuse? It's a cause of suicide. I know you guys are going to kill me, but this is it. When some of us are not confident enough, or you don't have the audacity, or you're not true to yourself. So when you're high, that's when you find yourself doing some of the things. And that's when, if you've been depressed, if you have been in a crisis or in a very bad situation, then you get high or you use these drugs. Let's say you use alcohol. There's high chances to commit suicide than when you're sober. You understand? And this applies because many people, when they are sober, they don't have that audacity. They can see life in a very realistic way than when they are drunk. And that's when substance abuse is part of the cause of suicide. And my next topic is how do you know you have suicidal thoughts, or how do you know that you're suicidal? Let's look at some of the things, or some of the ways that you can that can make you understand why this person wants to commit suicide, or why I'm suicidal, let me go and seek for help. And that's why I'm here for you. Maybe you don't know what time you feel low, or what time you're suicidal, and what time you're okay. Because you know something with suicidal, you may think to commit suicide or contemplate about it for a period of time. One time you're high, one time you're low, like it's fluctuating. You don't know the real time. You're happy, you're sad, you're happy, you're sad. That's why some people normally say that I was with this and this person, she was happy, she was okay. The next day, this person has committed suicide, or this person attempted to commit suicide, and you're like, this person was okay, I didn't see anything wrong with her or him. No, I'm here to help you to understand how can you identify somebody who is suicidal, and I'm here to help you understand yourself. If you're suicidal, you can seek for help, and what are some of the signs and symptoms to show that you are suicidal.